Hello, adventurers! Welcome back to another adventure with Farmer Troy. Today is not so much an adventure as it is a how-to. And today, Bullet is getting an oil change. So our Bullet 500, 2017 model year, is due for an oil change. So let's see what we got. We got 6,361 miles on the clock, and I just came back from a ride, so the engine is all warmed up, and next we're going to drain it. But first of all, I wanted to tell you the parts needed for your oil change. First of all, you need a nice selection of metric tools. If you don't really have any, you can go inside your toolbox, and I think inside your tool case here, which I will show you, you can find the tools that I think that you need. My tools are jammed inside here, so I'm not going to need those. So what I'm going to do is use my own. All right, so I gotta grab my oil over here. My favorite oil is the Motul. I don't know how you actually say that. So it's the 4T 15W50 MA2, which is important. This is a semi-synthetic oil, I do believe. You need your standard Royal Enfield oil filter. It comes with 2 rubber washers. This is the part number. You need your owner's manual so you can document your oil change in the back, right around here. As you can see, I did it last year, and I'm due for another one just because over a year has passed. And oil pan to catch the oil, maybe an old milk jug to put the old oil in so you can send it to the recycling center, rags, mechanics gloves, a creeper if you have one, and cardboard underneath the motorcycle helps a lot. It keeps you clean, and you can also see if oil is dripping anywhere. So what we're going to do is remove the filter out of here. So we remove these 3 things, but not until we get underneath. There's several drain plugs that we will be removing underneath. And I will try to show you those once I get situated here and actually take them apart. But here's one here. There's a bigger one right here. Can you see that? It's hot to the touch. This one here, which has a magnet filter in it. And this one here. I don't know if I said that one yet. Okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, all right. I'll be right back. Oh, I almost forgot. There are some other things that you do need. A funnel, a cup to hold the funnel in, and I like these ratio cups for measuring your oil when you're putting the oil back in. And last but not least, it's always good to have a cold drink. So, cheers. Okay, we got the big one off first. I stand corrected. That's the one with the magnet in it. And you can see dripping. So that's the first one to see. Okay, next we took off that one. And that one does have a magnet in it. It has these 2 screws and a filter. So we'll clean the crud off the magnet, just like I already cleaned that one. And we'll look at the screen and inspect it to make sure it is good. Okay, Next, we're going to take this off right here. All the oil has been draining for a while, so the filter should come out pretty easily. Now this is under pressure. There's a spring in here, so you got to make sure that you kind of do everything evenly. So I say break all 3 of them. Probably enough to do it hand tight. So squeeze that in, use your fingers. It's a good thing I'm wearing these gloves because as you know, I pre-warmed the oil by running the engine. I took a little ride until I felt it was pretty warm. Now, that's a lot of pressure on that spring for an old guy's thumb like mine. Okay, one more. Almost. There we go. So we got all 3. This is what comes out next. And then here is the old O-ring. And the old filter. Let me get a little screwdriver to pull that out. All right, this will come right out. Dripping oil, so put that on your shop towel. And you can see it's leaking on here. I already had a shop towel waiting for me. And there's one more O-ring in here. You got to make sure you get that out before you put in another one. So, all right, now we'll clean this up with a shop towel. All right, once that's cleaned up, we'll go to the next step, which is to get the new filter and pour oil over it. That's what we'll do next. Okay. Okay, next, I wanted to show you all the parts that I've cleaned up. These are everything that came off so far, and I've used the shop towel to clean them all off. You can see everything's nice and clean. All the old oil is off. Here's the old filter, the old O-rings, and what we're gonna do is unwrap the new filter. Take it out of the plastic and put it in this cup. And then we're going to pour some oil and cover it up and let it soak for a little while before we put it back in the bike. Pour it in the hole. Okay, and we'll take the old filter, the old O-rings, and we'll put it back in this bag, back in the cardboard box, and then dispose of it. Here's the 2 new O-rings, and we will put them in next. Okay, so what I'd like to do is take these O-rings, dip them in to the oil, take a screwdriver and insert them in here. See, if you get them oily, they will stick a little bit better than when they're dry. So you stick that all the way back there, and you can see that it's seated. And then we'll do the same thing with the second one. And that one will stay with the oil filter right there. So next thing is to seal up all the bottom holes with these and then put the oil filter in. So we'll be working on those. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is measure out the oil. And according to the good old Google, the capacity of the 500 Bullet is 2.25 liters, which is a little less than 2.5 quarts. So we're going to use our ratio right and measure it out. So I will do the math and fill it up, and you don't necessarily need to see that. So, all right. Okay, we've retightened up everything underneath the drain bolts, and now we're gonna put the filter in. So we have our filter all covered in oil. So I'm gonna put a rag, a shop towel down, and I'm gonna take my screwdriver. Now remember, I have the O-ring on top of the filter. So what we're going to do is pick it up and insert it right in there like so. And the O-ring will go in just like that. So can you see it? Okay, and there's a little oil dripping. So now we'll put the, let's clean this up a little bit. And we're gonna put this back on. I'm just gonna make sure one last time that this is all clean, inside and out. Okay, so we've got our 3 bolts. They're gonna go 1, 2, 3. This is leaking, all that oil in the filters. Good sign that it's fully filled up. Now we're gonna insert this, and once again, it's spring loaded. So we're going to hand thread these on by, oops, my creeper hit the camera. Oops. These springs are really hard to work with. You can tell it's hard when it's pushing the camera and the creeper. All right, let me readjust here. Okay. Plus one of my bolts fell in the shop towel. Okay, let's try this again. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing. Getting these in without stripping them because of that pressure. All right, once they're started, that's a little easier. You can, let's see. Put this here. Can you see that? My tripod's kind of falling. That's okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So you get these 3 all nice and snug, and then we'll put the oil in. So I'll stop that for now. Okay, we've got that fully tightened, and it's actually starting to rain, so I'm gonna wrap this video up quicker than I should because as you can probably see, it's gonna storm here any minute, and I gotta close the door so I'll lose my light. So what we're gonna do next is fill up the oil into this little filler. Okay, so we're gonna get our funnel. We're gonna put that in there. And I like this funnel. A little trick is you can insert that little tab into the block of the engine and it holds your funnel. It's not going anywhere. All right, so basically to wrap this up, we're gonna get the prescribed amount of oil, which once again is 2.5 quarts. So we're gonna measure everything out. I use a paper and pen to keep track of how much I add in. So the oil will go from here into the engine. We'll pour it into the funnel, and then we will look in the window glass, and there are 2 marks. You want, that's the high and low marks. I usually fill it till it says high. Then I run it for 2 minutes, let the engine warm up, shut it off, cool it down, and then check the oil level again. So sometimes the oil will not be correct, and you have to do it 1 or 2 times to make sure that you're actually on the line. Let me step inside here. So that's pretty much it. And then once your oil is changed, have fun. So, all right, adventurers, that's all for today. From our farm and from our Bullet, I hope you found this informative, and I want to wish you peace, Salaam, Shalom, Mir, Shanti, and until we see each other again, I say Phir Melenge, which is Hindi for until we see each other again. All right, folks. Have a good night. Have a good day wherever you are in the world, and hope to see you soon.